The stories we consume aren't just mirrors of society, they're the architects. They build our ideas of who we are, where we belong, and who holds power. Every character, every setting, every line of dialogue is a choice about who gets seen and how. Think about your own identity. There's your individual self, your unique history, your private thoughts. Then there's your group identity, the culture, nationality, or community you belong to. The most compelling narratives explore the tension where these two selves meet or clash. Language is the most powerful tool for this. A character's dialect can place them on a map. Cultural slang can signal belonging. But what's left unsaid often reveals even more. Whose voices are silenced? That silence almost always points to power. Who controls publishing and media dictates whose stories get told, making representation a deeply political act. When this power is used carelessly, we get stereotypes. The angry black woman, the model minority Asian. These are harmful shortcuts that flatten complex human beings into a single, limiting trait, reinforcing social hierarchies and telling people who they're allowed to be. But the most powerful texts resist this. They explore intersectionality, the understanding that we are never just one thing. Our experience is shaped by the complex overlap of our race, gender, sexuality, and class. Instead of stereotypes, they show us characters who are messy, contradictory, and real. This makes us active participants. We bring our own identities to a text, and our reading is shaped by that experience. By critically analyzing how a story represents identity, we're not just decoding a book or a film. We're learning to read the world itself and our own power within it.